Apparently AI can code now. Some people are calling it vibe coding. It's like you just describe what you want and poof, an app magically appears. Sounds a little too good to be true, right? It's like ordering an app from Uber Eats. But hey, let's not take their word for it. Let's put this thing to the test. Before we get started, just a quick background on me. I'm not a developer. I'm not a software engineer. On a scale of 1 to 10, my coding skills are like a solid 1. I do have an engineering degree, and I've coded a little bit in the past, like writing logic statements, if-then, writing loops. And here's why this matters, because I work in business analytics, where we use data and AI to drive value. And one of the questions that I keep hearing all the time is, can large language models, can generative AI really help us move from idea to execution faster? Can it actually identify insights? Can it actually help us get closer to helping our clients, helping our customers faster? So to test it, I built a lead management app. Picture a big financial services enterprise with hundreds of advisors, and this enterprise sells insurance products, it sells wealth products, and they have a flood of leads that are coming in. How are they going to manage this lead coming in more effectively? I'm going to showcase 3 experiments that I did using the latest free version of the large language models. So let's check it out. We're going to walk through 3 demos, low, medium, and high complexity. Starting with the first demo here. Essentially, I just asked Claude to create a lead management app with multiple pages, keeping in mind it's for a financial services industry. I gave it some additional information in terms of I want to see an operations view, I want to see a performance view. It was essentially a single prompt, about 200 words that I'm going to show you in just a second. Claude took about 3 minutes and put together this web app. So let's take a look at what it looks like. Here is demo number 1, lead management system. Look at this. So this is essentially, like I mentioned, a single prompt. You've got the dashboard view here. It tells you there's an operations page, it's a performance monitoring page, there's an economics page, and this is all pretty sleek. It's clickable, so you click on the operations page and you see a dashboard with some made-up numbers, and shows you the breakdown by sources and the funnel progression, how many leads are unassigned and closed, etc. So pretty cool that just with a single prompt it was able to create like a mock-up of what a lead management system could look like. In performance monitoring, there's volume by region, so you can see which area has how many leads. Again, pretty cool information here. You can also break it down by volume by advisor, so which advisor has how many leads that they're handling at the moment, so that's there. And last but not the least is the economics page, where it shows you profitability per lead and per sources as well. So very cool. With just a single prompt, it was able to design this front end mock-up that could be iterated upon further. We just saw demo 1, where you saw the front end of the lead management app using Claude. For demo 2, we're taking it up a notch. We're going to build the front end and the back end, because let's be real, a front end without a back end is like a Ferrari without an engine. You're not going anywhere. And so for this particular demo, it was built using ChatGPT primarily, with a little bit of Gemini as well. It actually has a real database with some mock data that has been fed into the database, and we're going to see it real time on how it works. So let's check it out. For demo 2, we have here a fully functioning front end with a working back end lead management app. You can see here I'm basically hosting this on my computer. You've got an operations page, a performance management page, a hypothesis generator, which we're going to see in demo 3, but you've also got the same links at the top navigation bar here. And so let's explore the operations page first to see what it looks like. When you do that, you can see you've got some information here at the top. You've got these KPI cards, if you will, in terms of how many leads have been assigned. And when you click on it, you can see the 15 leads that are assigned, tagged as admin, assigned to the advisors, and you can see all the columns of information here at the bottom. How many have closed, closed by the advisor, and how many are unassigned. So, very quick to, slice and dice the information that is stored in a database. You can clear the filters if you want, or you can also, when you're viewing one of these pages, you can also do some filtering, within this page, within this table, by clicking on one of the table headers. You say, okay, I want to look at, which mobile leads are unassigned, and you can quickly see, a few records here that are in that range. When you click on performance, it takes that data, all of that table data, and it comes up with some KPIs in terms of average days it's taken to close. Ranges from 3 days at the earliest to as long as 48 days in some cases. Again, this is mock data. How many days you're sitting in progress, and how many days you're sitting in unassigned. So just some quick metrics for you to sort of take a look at and see how this overall system is working. And then you can see down here a chart that shows how many have been closed by which advisor. So, very cool, something that was built, entirely using ChatGPT and a little bit of Gemini for demo number 2. Building demo 2 did take a long time. There was a lot of prompts, there's a lot of debugging, there's a lot of checking and testing, and building in smaller chunks. I want to show you a little bit of the behind the scenes, where you can see this command prompt is showing that my server, the backend server, is running and returning information from one of the APIs that's talking to the lead database. You have another server that is running, which is to render the front end. So you've got a front end server and a back end server that are both running. So there was a lot of learning to get to this point. And of course, you've got the Visual Studio app here that has all of your code and all of your files that come together to create the app. Now for the big one, demo 3, the stress test. I wanted to go all the way to completing the workflow, not just being able to view the leads, but actually being able to edit and update the leads directly from the web interface, so that all of the analytics, all of the charts, all of the KPIs, all that gets updated in real time. But I didn't stop there. For demo 3, I also hooked up the lead management app to an open source large language model, which means I can literally prompt from within the app itself for free. Let's check it out. So here we go, demo 3. We're going to start back at our main landing page here, the lead management app. And as I showed earlier in demo 2, you had the operations page, you have the performance page, and now the new feature for demo 3 is manage data. So here you go. So once you click on that, it shows you the table of all of the columns of data and all of the data that we have in the database at the moment. We've got about 150 records that are in this database, and you can see all of the information here. You can move the columns, you can adjust the columns as you need to, if you want to edit, let's try to make a quick edit. So first, let's just go and sort by advisor, and then let's scroll down a little bit. We see we've got the first one, or ID number 2, is assigned to an advisor named Alice. So let's just click on that, and there you go. A form pops up. We're going to change the advisor name to Ankit, and let's save it and see what happens. And you see that record is now gone because it's refreshed the table, and you've got, let's see, if I scroll down, there you go. That is now assigned to me. Now let's come back and take a look at the performance tab to see if the data update has been reflected here. We see closed by advisor. I don't see my name here yet. And it's probably because this is looking at leads that have been closed by the advisor. So let me go back to manage data and take a look at what I did. So here's the second ID that I updated the advisor to myself, but this is sitting in a different stage. It's not closed yet. So let's just cancel this one. Why don't we go and update the funnel state? Let's go and filter contains closed. Let's just see if that works. Hit enter. Okay. And now we're looking at essentially, let me try it again. Filter contains closed. And yep, there you go. So you got all the closed ones here. Let's pick on Bob. We're going to change Bob to Ankit, and that is ID number 1. So let's save it. And that is updated. Now let's go into performance tab and see what happens. So there you go. So you got Bob at 13, which was previously 14, and now 1 is showing up here. So this is real-time, editing of the database, and that's being reflected into our metrics here, which is pretty cool. So now let's test the final feature of demo 3, hypothesis generator. This is essentially an app that will help us come up with some plausible ideas, plausible hypotheses for us to test given a problem statement. So, as we look at, for example, let's go in the operations or performance tab rather. We saw earlier that some advisors are able to close in about 3 days, where the average is 24, and some advisors take as long as 48. Why is that, right? So let's just maybe ask that as a potential question to our hypothesis generator and see what kind of ideas it comes up with. So let's just describe it. How come some advisors are able to close leads in few days, where most advisors take 25 to 30 days? Let's just do that. And so for this particular problem, we want to see 2 main hypotheses, and for each hypothesis we want to see 2 sub-hypotheses. So let's click on generate hypotheses. Now what you're sort of seeing is real time. The problem statement has been taken in from the front end. It went through our back end, and if I go into the LN Studio, you can see that it is showing that it's received that particular prompt, and it is now working. So LM Studio is essentially a free app with access to free open source models, and looks like it's already done, prepared its response. So let's go back to the page, and here you go. So what it's telling us is hypothesis 1, experienced advisors with strong industry connections and success in closing similar deals with shorter time frame are more likely to close leads effectively. Advisors have established relationships. Advisors who have consistently closed high-value deals demonstrate a proven ability to manage. So it's just giving you some ideas to sort of drill down further. Maybe a second hypothesis is that you've got some advisor effectiveness training programs that we need to sort of look at. So again, real-time hypotheses that it generated. So maybe now let's take a different problem statement. Let's see why are advisor sales, insurance sales, down this year versus last year, right? For this one, I want to see 3 hypotheses and 2 subcategories. So now let's click generate again. Again, while it's doing that, let me just quickly show you the LN Studio. So again, it's received another prompt, right? You can see here, it's generating. This is running on the free Gemma Google open source model. It's 1 billion parameters. I'm operating on a pretty budget-friendly computer here, so it just cannot run very high performance models. But there are free open source models that are as good as the latest paid models available. So you can get much faster, much better answers. And looks like it's done its prompting. And let's take a look at what it came back with. So 3 hypotheses and 2 sub-hypotheses. So insurance sales are down because there's likely increased competition from online brokerage firms. Okay. Economic uncertainty and market volatility are negatively impacting advisor client confidence and willingness to invest. Fair. And last, changes in advisor compensation structures and perceived value of advisory practices are contributing to declining sales. So again, very interesting hypotheses for someone to quickly test and rule out, and very powerful tool that is built into this app. So absolutely amazed at how it runs. This was quite a journey. I started this at the beginning of August. Even though it says your time to build is about 24 hours, the reality is that it took about 3 weeks for me to actually get all these demos done. The reason being, I was getting timed out from ChatGPT every hour and a half after using it. So I just couldn't use it for more than an hour a day. At least on the free version. Essentially, these are very powerful tools. So, when you start small and you break down what you're looking at doing or building, you can start building in stages, start testing, start experimenting. And so, I think that is super helpful. Prompting is very, very important. And so you have to be very specific in terms of what you want, what you don't want. Oftentimes you can get these models to go into like rabbit holes, and before you know it, you're doing something that you don't want to do. So be very specific in terms of what you're looking to do. Explicitly asking LLMs to ensure all the code is commented is, again, very helpful. For you to understand the code, to learn, and to make some quick edits. And lastly, I was using multiple LLMs as I was getting timed out, as I mentioned. So I would go into Gemini and just copy paste, some error message that I was getting to quickly debug, or work on the front end, page alignment issues, etc. That really helped me to maximize my time and not lose my flow. What's the final verdict? Vibe coding is here, and it is real. For quick prototypes, you can go from zero to something tangible in no time. For medium complexity or high complexity projects, it is a massive accelerator. Steve Jobs famously said that people don't know what they want until you show it to them. I think with Gen AI and with the ability to vibe code, we can turn ideas into prototypes very fast, literally in minutes. So it gives us the ability to showcase something, put it in front of our customers or our clients, get instant feedback, pivot on the fly, and ability to launch at speed. Now, imagine the multiplier effect you get when a software engineer or a developer who builds app gets their hands on these AI tools. You add in a paid model of $20 a month, and the quality and speed gains you're going to get will be game-changing. I hope you enjoyed these demos. Let me know what you think of vibe coding, and I'll see you next time.